We are definitely talking about two wonderful defensive midfielders, and one being Declan Rice and yet the other being Moises Caicedo. Hello everyone, thank you for being part of the United chapter, and make your point, subscribe and ring that notification bell such do not miss it on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related, right about here at the United chapter with me, your host Abu KALS, as I'm definitely dedicated to bringing to you the latest trade as it comes in. It will be remembered that the club Manchester United is trying to get a defensive midfielder. Manchester United is trying to make sure that they can get a defensive midfielder, and the two defensive midfielders that are in the picture, we've got Moises Caicedo and we've got yet another superstar, and that is Declan Rice. Let me start with Declan Rice. Should I start with Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo? Anyway, let's roll with Moises Caicedo. It will be remembered that Moises Caicedo is an Ecuadorian professional football player who plays as a defensive midfielder for Brighton and Hove and also the Ecuadorian national team. You'll be remembered that he's been linked to the club Manchester United for quite a long period of time, and in the summer transfer window he had a little links to the club Manchester United, and in the January transfer window a little bit, but in this summer transfer window there are a lot of hopes that Moises Caicedo could be ending up at the club Manchester United. However, the club Brighton and Hove has slapped an £80 million release clause for Moises Caicedo. Is it worth to get Moises Caicedo for £80 million, or it could be a waste of money? £80 million for Moises Caicedo, I think it should be negotiable. That £80 million could be quite a lot of money, with Manchester United trying to get a few targets with a superstar, one striking superstar as a big priority. I think spending £80 million on a defensive midfielder could be a little bit tricky, or could be unachievable for the club Manchester United. However, the manager still thinks that he can definitely do it, and there is nothing that we can say if he thinks he can do it. So that would be great. Anyway, I think Moises Caicedo would definitely fit in the club of Manchester United, and as it stands, Manchester United is at very good terms with Moises Caicedo, and this transfer is most likely going to happen sooner than later. It is definitely one that Manchester United is focusing on, and we've got great information coming in saying that Moises Caicedo is close to agreeing personal terms with the club Manchester United, and he's already agreed a deal to move to the club Manchester United. You can let us know what you definitely think about Moises Caicedo and him joining the club Manchester United, as it could be a dream come true for him, because he's always wanted to play for the club Manchester United. He wants to play Premier League football, but yet at another level. He wants Champions League football in Premier League football. That would definitely be quite good for him, and he can definitely achieve it at Manchester United. And he also has been having dreams of playing in a bigger club than Brighton and Hove, as Brighton and Hove is well known for being a good club but not a club that takes trophies. And when Moises Caicedo comes to Manchester United, then definitely he definitely can be part of Manchester United and under the management of Erik ten Hag, and he can win trophies. Anyway, let's get to yet another football player. Whom are we talking about? We're talking about Declan Rice. It will be remembered that Declan Rice is one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League. The West Ham superstar who captains West Ham and also plays for the English national team has been hunted for by quite a big number of clubs, with quite a big number of clubs putting in bids, with Manchester United putting in bids and Arsenal putting in bids. And right about now as we speak, if you want the football player, you've got to have £105 million plus. It will be remembered that Arsenal was the first club to put in a bid. Bayern Munich tried, but it was rejected. But the main bid was first put in by Arsenal, and that was £80 million. Arsenal put in yet another bid, and that was £90 million. And recently, just yesterday, Arsenal put in the third bid, and that was £105 million. However, Manchester City also tried on Declan Rice and put in £90 million that was rejected. Arsenal was rejected twice, and now the third bid is definitely in, and Manchester United is closely monitoring the situation to make sure that everything goes on quite well for them. Manchester United is not just going to let this transfer just go just like that. They're trying to put up a fight. Declan Rice is one of those defensive midfielders that if you lose, you're not going to get in a very long period of time. So Manchester United is very aware that Declan Rice could go into the hands of the club Arsenal, with Arsenal ready to part away with £105 million. The current manager of the club Manchester United is not willing to make this happen, to let this happen. And that's why Manchester United is ready for a bidding war with the club Arsenal, and Manchester United is preparing a way to make sure that things definitely work out for the club as regards this transfer. And again, I will remember that Manchester United before was preparing to make sure that they can offer two football players for one, and that is Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay for Declan Rice. And it was reportedly said that would definitely not be enough, because what West Ham has said, West Ham says that they need £120 million for the football player, but when you value the two football players, Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire, they could probably not reach £120 million, and that's why the club Manchester United has even gone further and said we could even add you a bit of money, and that's what they are planning to do, with Manchester United definitely trying to sort out a few things in this transfer. And you know what is delaying these transfers for the club Manchester United? It is the ownership. Currently, the ownership of Manchester United has not yet been decided, and that's why we are definitely seeing ups and downs in these transfers. But from inside sources, it is said that the current owners of Manchester United are the Qataris. Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani is reported to be the current owner of Manchester United, but it is not yet official. We cannot confirm it because it's not yet official. Anyway, between the two defensive midfielders, Moises Caicedo and Declan Rice, whom would you definitely take if all of them were available? As Manchester United is now focusing on getting one of them, at least one of them. If you are a Manchester United, actually you're a Manchester United fan, but if you are in a position of getting one of the two football players, whom would you get? Would you get Declan Rice, who is £120 million, or you would get Moises Caicedo, that is £80 million, but also negotiable? You will be remembered that right about now, you cannot get Declan Rice at an amount that is less than £105 million. However, with Moises Caicedo, it is negotiable. He is definitely negotiable. You could get him for around £70 million or £65 million. Anyway, let's see where all this definitely takes us. And please do not forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related, right about here at the United chapter with me, your host, Abu KALS, as I tell thank you and goodbye for now.